Hey dolls, welcome back to your Royal BFF, the People's Duchess. Hope you're having a wonderful Thursday. So, kind of a crazy news day. Their Royal Highnesses, Prince Harry and Princess Meghan of the Nigerian realms, are moving back to the UK for an extended period of time. Look, I did not want to believe this story. Initially, I was like, no, there's no way this is a dumb story, especially because it came up in the Telegraph of all places. Like, hell no. And also, especially because the British media has been doing this for 6 years. They've been whipping up this will they come back nonsense for literally 6 years. Ever since they left, they have been opining about the Sussexes coming back and making up blatant lies and stories that they were coming back and da da da, just nonsense. And I also thought this was complete nonsense up until the AP confirmed. That's when I allowed myself to believe it and my heart dropped. I am genuinely nervous for them. It doesn't appear that the media has made any strides in cutting back the amount of nasty articles about Harry and Meghan. Right now, we're seeing a tiny sliver of reprieve from the 24/7 hate cycle because of the Professor Arte situation. And by the way, thank you to everyone who has been out there, boots on the ground, showing up at the vigils, getting that petition signed, demanding accountability and an inquiry into what happened to Dr. Arde. I'm really proud of you guys. Personally speaking, I haven't been able to say too much about this because every time I start to, I get very emotional. This has hit so hard, and I'm just unable to find the words even to speak on it because it's so painful. So I just want to say thank you to everyone who has been able to find their words and their footing and taken action on this. So I was quite surprised by the news. Didn't believe it because of quote unquote sources having been quoted in these articles. But when the AP said it, I was like, oh, okay. The AP done called it. I'm going to take their word for it. And especially because they were there with Prince Harry and got that reaction from him, that is what really confirmed it for me. Not necessarily because I trust the AP more than others, just because they spoke to Harry and he gave them the old no comment. So yeah, I didn't have any choice but to believe it. And I went through a myriad of emotions. Like you guys, I was initially shocked. Then I did find myself angry. I'm not going to lie. I have sworn more in the last 24 hours than I have ever sworn in my entire life. And then when that dissipated, I thought, well, these are two adults and they're making the best decisions for themselves and their family. Do I think it's a good decision? It doesn't matter what I think. Literally doesn't matter what I think. I am not them. I do not know what is being said behind closed doors. And again, we're hearing all these sources say this and sources say that, and we know those sources don't know squat. And most of the time, the sources is just the journalist telling you what they think. It's not that they've actually talked to anyone. So all the kerfuffle around Prince Harry and his father's relationship, even the relationship between him and his brother, we don't actually know what that looks like. We literally don't know what's being said behind closed doors. You cannot rely on palace sources. Now, it feels a lot like someone that you care about deeply coming to you with their relationship problems. You advise them to break up with this person because they're being harmed by this person. They do break up with the person, but then they get back together. So then you're left in this weird limbo space where you've done all this talking smack about the person and now they're back with the person. So you're just kind of like, okay, where do I go from here? And that's where I'm at. I'm like, well, I have talked so much smack about this man's family. I don't know that I can ever like go back or support them in any way if he does. I will always support Harry. I will always support Princess Meghan, but I hate his family too much. From what I understand, they're not going back to work in any capacity for the royal family or with the royal family, but I don't know. We could see them at an engagement just kind of chilling. And I don't know how I would react to that because, again, I have talked so much, so much smack. There's no going back for me personally. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now. And I feel like they just got back with their ex. And I don't know how to feel about that. I don't know how to act. I don't know what to say. Like, what do you want me to say? I still hate your ex. Like, don't get me wrong. I still hate your ex. Um, yeah, it's crazy. I'm just so nervous for them. I can only guess that Charles is likely on his way out, and that is why they are doing this. He wasn't there for his grandmother when she passed, and I think that that probably still weighs pretty heavily on him. This is his only remaining parent, so I think that he wants to be there and have his children know their grandfather while he's here. That is probably the driving force. I don't know if that's true. I don't know what's going on. None of us do. I think that that's pretty altruistic of Harry. And I understand that a lot of people are angry, and I was angry too. But pretty quickly, it subsided. I am going to try to keep an open mind here. They operate on their own terms, and I respect the hell out of that. And if they want to go back to the UK to be there and support Harry's family while they're having this difficult time with his dad's treatment and, just his mortality in general, I support that. I am not going to begrudge them this, especially because the way that it's being worded sounds quite temporary to me. It certainly isn't that they're going back to royal duties. It certainly isn't that they're permanently moving back to the UK. It does sound like they are temporarily moving back for an extended period of time while they monitor the situation with Harry's father. I know that this is going to be difficult for a lot of the squad to accept and digest, but we just have to try and support Harry and Meghan. They are autonomous adults, as we all are. We all have the right to make our own decisions for ourselves. I'm not sure how the content is going to look. I'll be honest with you. I'm not going to cover the games. I'm also not going to cover any royal engagements. Should they turn up to those engagements, it would be disingenuous of me to do that. It would be completely fake for me to sit up here and try to like the royal family now that they're going to probably be around them a little bit more. I'm just not going to do that. But my support and my love for the Sussexes is unwavering. And I don't know, I guess we'll just play it by ear. Look, I know it doesn't seem like a good idea, but at the end of the day, if they like it, I love it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, join the membership, buy me a coffee if you're so inclined. Uh, Keep your heads up. Keep your heads up, squad. Don't lose faith. I'll see you guys next time. Take care of yourselves. Bye for now.